Awesome. Looks like we're live on YouTube, getting ready on Webinar Jam. Any minute here. Hey guys. There we go. Perfect. Awesome.
What's up, people? Come on in.
Fantastic. Welcome back.
Knowledge.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. We've been hanging out all week, man. This has been a fun, it's been a good time.
We've been seeing a lot of each other this week. It's like the fourth straight day. We had Thursday.
Yep. I was gonna say the final one's on Monday, so you'll miss us tomorrow, guys. But it'll be should be a good time tonight. You can jump in the chat, say where you're based out of. That's always a great place to start. Good networking opportunity. We've had plenty of people come away from these challenges, meeting future business partners and doing deals together and things. So use this as a chance to meet each other. But one thing, Dedrick, I will say, to really kick us off here too, man. I was blown away by the homework submissions. Like, I want to tell everybody, awesome job on that. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the Facebook group today.
Oh yeah, definitely. Facebook group was blowing up. People doing the homework, getting their list pulled, and that's what it's all about, guys. I know people talking about, hey, get your LLC, get a business card, get flyers and all that stuff. Listen, it's about talking to sellers. Like, if a day goes by and I have not talked to a seller and made an offer, I get anxiety because there's no way to make money in this business if you're not marketing and talking to sellers. So I'm proud of you guys doing the homework, and it's a great start.
Absolutely. I mean, that's been our whole goal with this challenge in general. Is there's so many things you can put in front of yourself as like, oh, someday I'll do this. Once I do that, or once I do this, once I set up an LLC, once I do XYZ, once I watch one more webinar. It is so easy to just put these barriers in front of ourselves. And the thing that really matters, like you said, is having conversations with people that you might actually do a deal with, right? Like, that is the only focus that is going to really move that ball forward for you. And the awesome thing about challenges like this is, we want to break that down step by step on how to do that, how to really give you that playbook, but then just make it so that you don't, you're holding yourself accountable. You don't have any other excuses. You're not you're not overthinking it. You're just following through with this to start with, and you're learning by doing. And then you can come into these challenges and say, hey, now what do I do? Like, this is a great opportunity to ask questions and help you overcome that next thing. Hey, Crystal. Hey.
Look who's joined us.
All right, there we go. I thought you were sick of me, but for this week, so I was you weren't showing up.
Almost. Miss Sunshine, thanks for joining us, babe.
Love it. Awesome. But yeah, Crystal, I was saying too, like, I was blown away by how many people did the homework already too. In the Facebook group, it's been pretty incredible to see that response. So
yes, it was. Did you get the one from someone who had emailed it into us because they didn't have Facebook?
Yeah. So and we're doing the giveaways on Monday, guys. So if you fill out the homework, amazing. Like, you are already getting that lottery ticket, that opportunity to win over $8,000 worth of prizes that we're giving away on Monday. But if you did not do it yet, that's okay. You have a chance to catch up. You have a chance to turn in the homework this time around before Monday. Every time you turn it in, you're going to get that extra, entry into the giveaway. So everybody who did the homework once, you have a chance to double your chances on the Monday giveaway here coming up. If you can knock out the homework between now and then, that DealMachine.com/HW, that is the link to the Facebook group where people have been posting the homework. So on my team, we're gathering up those responses. Jenny on my team has been helping me out there. So we're making sure we've got everybody that has submitted it moving forward. Jump in the chat if you finish the homework. I'd love to know. We had a lot of people who posted it and also said they had a lot of fun doing it too, which, on top of everything else, like, that's awesome to see that people are passionate about it. But fantastic. And we've got, again, as you join, we have a bunch of people jumping in now. Post if you did the homework, post where you're based out of. It's a great networking opportunity here. If you're watching on social media, make sure to go to that www.thepoliteschallenge.com, going across the bottom of your screen right there. That is where you can actually sign up for the official challenge here. You'll be getting email notifications, getting reminders, know how to turn in the homework, know how to enter into the giveaway. So make sure to be a part of that as we get rolling here today. But I know we covered this yesterday, guys, but is there anything else you want to reiterate on, like, why we want to do this challenge now? Just really get people fired up and ready to continue to follow through and lead with action like this?
I mean, I just wanted to add, it's a great time to be in real estate. I mean, what's happening, what I talked about yesterday is the market is shifting. It's going from a crazy seller's market multiple offers, over asking. All sellers lost their mind in the last 5 years, asking astronomical prices. And now sellers are starting to come to their senses because they're realizing that the market is just not going to keep going up forever. With interest rates, probably coming down, more inventory is coming on the market. And with more inventory, these property owners now have more competition. They're not going to have these bidding wars that have been going on for the past 3 or 4 years where investors were just left out in the cold, right? Now, you're the only person or maybe one other investor talking to a property owner versus 20 people beating down their door. So what that means is that there's a lot of opportunities in the next, I'd say, 2 to 3 years that's going to be there for investors. And that with you guys getting in the business now, learning marketing, learning how to prospect, learning how to talk to sellers and make offers, this is a great time to be investing in real estate.
Not to mention, the sooner you start, the sooner you can get it done and over with, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest regret of a lot of investors like us, even where we are now. So when you ask anyone who's accomplished quite a bit in real estate and you say, hey, what would you have done differently? First thing they'll say is, I wish I would have started sooner. Right? That's it. At some point, you just have to take action and stop sitting on the sidelines. And for us, we were the same way. Dedrick had analysis paralysis. I got tired of hearing him talk about it. So I was like, look, we about to do this one way or the other. So
you're a great team.
The sooner you take action, the more you'll start to see results.
Yep. And I think you nailed it there, like leading with action like that. And I know, Dedrick, both of you guys, you came on yesterday on our DealMachine podcast live, our masterclass. Really laid that out for people yesterday too. So if you start a DealMachine free trial here as well, you get invited to those every single Wednesday. So it was great seeing a lot of you on that call as well. But you did a great job just showing the timing and how you really painted that picture of, hey, if you do things like this now, get comfortable with this now, get the skills you need now, as the market shifts, you are going to be way ahead of the pack and in a great place to really do the best deals out there. Right. So, fantastic. I'll mention on our end again, the main hang up that we see people do outside of that mindset shift of leading with action is that people just don't know where or how to find that great deal and fund that great deal. That's what this is all about. This challenge gives you that playbook. Yesterday, or rather Monday, what day we do? Tuesday, whatever day one was, kickoff Tuesday.
Every day, so.
There we go. I was going to say, mixing up these days.
Was it Monday?
Tuesday we kicked off, talked about finding those leads, right? Yeah, it was Tuesday. Today we're talking about, okay, now that you've built that list, what do you do with those leads? And then Monday's really going to be talking through the funding piece, closing the deal, all of that. So again, Matt Camp over here with DealMachine. Our mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. We really want to enable you guys and give you access to data and marketing that typically would be crazy expensive, very, very hard to do for the individual, and just give you technology to execute on that and really, really arm people to go out there and build financial freedom for yourself. So that's our goal and our mission. We're going to give you that technology, and we've had over 10,000 deals done at this point using that tech. And that's the playbook that we're giving you guys throughout this challenge as well. Is Dedrick and Crystal are walking through what they have done, how they go about doing this, especially for that no money down approach, which is I love the way that they really present that and pitch that. And today is going to be great about talking about how to present that to sellers a little bit here, how to have that conversation with sellers a little bit. But outside of that, we're bringing the perspective of all this data of, hey, we've had people do deals in literally every single state. We've had over 10,000 deals done total using the DealMachine technology. We're really proud to say we're the highest rated and most reviewed app out there to go find off market deals. So that is what we're using for this challenge today is really laying out that playbook of what we see working and how we see our most successful customers using the technology on top of what the Applieds can bring to the table. So the challenge agenda, again, this is the middle training. We had one, that first day on Tuesday. Today's the middle one. Monday is the final training. So we have one more final live, and that is on Monday, same time, same place. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go to that theappliedschallenge.com, www.theappliedschallenge.com. You're going to get the replays as well if you register there. So that way you can catch up. If this is your first time watching it, that's okay. You've got an opportunity to catch up on the homework and be ready to go for Monday and really even enter into the grand prize giveaway. And that's what we're going to be asking you guys to be doing in between now and then, is do that homework every day, get that done. It's not easy. It's a challenge for a reason, right? But the people who do get it done will be in entry for over $8 grand in free giveaways, which is, a crazy amount of prizes here. And outside of that, like, the real prize is doing deals, right? Like, the real prize is building this financial freedom and eventually generational wealth, where you can come in here and continue to apply this way beyond 7 days. So, is there anything else about the challenge itself before I move into further recap? Is there anything else about the challenge itself you guys wanted to touch on, or?
No, I think we can jump into the recap.
Awesome. So today we asked you guys, again, it was to pull that initial list. So that's what we spent day one talking about. I'll do a quick recap today of exactly step-by-step how to do that. Just a quick 5-minute recap of that. So that way we can get to the new stuff as soon as possible. But the homework with that was to pull your first list of at least 200 leads. I'll give you guys the link for DealMachine on how to do that. We had a special link. It's just dealmachine.com/bepolite. So if you're on YouTube, it's at the bottom right there. If you're on Webinar Jam, let me start this up for you guys too. Here we go. We have a 7-day free trial that coincides with the challenge. Really make sure that you can go through and do this as much of this as possible for free. In addition to that, you get a bunch of bonuses, including the skip tracing, including 50 free mailers. We'll talk about that today during the training itself. But your goal was to build your list based on the Polite Money list, which, again, I'll give you the quick rundown of that. But if you missed the kickoff training, make sure to rewatch that replay, which we continue to email that out for you guys here too. So just pay attention to your email and you'll get that. And then the next step was to post evidence of that list. So like a screenshot or picture to dealmachine.com/HW. That is the Facebook group for Polite Wealth Portal. So we had all that laid out for you guys. We'll do a quick recap of that training here for you. But yeah, I will notice, I don't know if there's anything else that you noticed with the homework submissions, but it was so cool to see how many people, again, learned so much.
Yeah.
Would say that you guys made it so approachable and also had fun while doing it. But
yeah, I think it's the excitement. I think you guys are really starting to understand why we go after these lists. In this opportunity, today I was calling a few for sale by owners that I just found on Zillow on a whim, and I called a for sale by owner lead, and lo and behold, I didn't even know this before I called. The lady, her and her uncle are partners. They own 50 rental properties.
Wow!
Just on a whim, they own 50 rental properties. They're looking to sell some, and they're also cash buyers. So again, I added a new cash buyer to my list. And they have 4.5 acres of land in Greensboro that they're looking to get rid of quickly, so they're willing to sell it at a discount. Those two opportunities just popped up just because, but those are the type of people you guys are going to be calling, is these mom and pop landlords that own a lot of property and are used to doing deals, and they may have some properties that they need to unload, and that could be your first or your next deal. Yeah,
this list, these sellers have a higher likelihood of having at least one property that they're willing to part with.
That's what's so cool, is that this list is not just one opportunity where you're going for this one property. It's, you've got an entire portfolio you can go after. Yep. And by the way, these might be cash buyers, like you said, that you could actually wholesale to. This might become a mentor in the future that you do deals with or you learn from. Like, there's just such an opportunity here when you identify these people who have 10 plus properties and that they own already. So there's a ton of different, a lot of different angles, a lot of upside you can bring to each conversation with these people.
Yeah, I think that was a key point, Matt. You mentioned relationships.
Yeah.
So again, when you're connecting with these people in your market who own 10, 20, 30 properties, those are people you want to build relationships with, add them to your power team, get to know them, take them out to lunch, take them out to breakfast, because they've actually done a lot of transactions in your market. So you definitely want to get to know those folks.
Yep. And to help you do that, just really quickly here, these are the link that we just threw up for you guys. Again, it's dealmachine.com/bepolite. It's going across on YouTube right there for you. Again, to get the full experience on YouTube, make sure to go to actually registering at thepolitechallenge.com. So www.thepolitechallenge.com. That's the full experience of seeing everything here. I'm going to go into the actual quick training recap. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's just going to have, this up here for you on, let me go to the webinar jam. What we're going to be doing here is actually sharing DealMachine itself, the tool itself, so that way we can go through step by step exactly how we did this last time and the new stuff as well. I know a lot of that, there's a lot of data in the platform, so we don't want to live stream that on the spot, but there we go. Let me see if I can get this.
Oh, that's nice. Isabel said, one lead from my new money list is a buyer too, and he told me to find him properties. See,
amazing.
So 90% of these folks are going to be cash buyers. So when you talk to them about buying their worst property, you can always pivot the conversation and say, hey, are you looking for more deals? Are you looking to buy more properties at a discount? They're deal junkies, right? They've shown it by the transactions, number of properties they hold in their portfolio. So they're going to say, hell yeah, you got properties.
Still buying.
So these are cash buyers that.
And what you're doing is you're reverse engineering it, right? So you're finding the buyer first versus the property, and you're getting their criteria, and then you're going out specifically looking for properties that they would end up buying.
That's so awesome. Like you're right. Like it's not just a dead end when someone says, no, I'm not looking to sell. Most leads it would be, but with this list, it's okay, great. Are you looking to buy? Like, how'd you get that portfolio? Like use that as a mentoring opportunity. Just, you have so many ways to take it from there. That's fantastic. You're building real relationships, right?
That's a great point. What you mentioned, Matt, you can easily pivot, and then also just picking their brain. People love to brag on themselves. So you can kind of like stroke their ego. Hey, John, 30 properties, man. How did you get such a large portfolio? Next thing you know, he may go on for 20 minutes just talking about how he built his portfolio, because people love talking about themselves. So that's an easy way to pivot the conversation when you're talking to these sellers and these cash buyers.
Absolutely. So what that looks like in the software itself, and just again, to get the full recap, make sure to watch the replay that we send out. And again, if you're at theplicechallenge.com, you're on the email list to get all the replays. But what this looked like on DealMachine here is we talked through a little bit on choosing your market. I think you guys did a great job of that on Tuesday. So make sure to just rewatch to really understand, okay, how do you think about which market to really dig into? Once you have that, I went in and do you want to throw out a county again for me? I know I forget the one we were working on Tuesday, but
we did Raleigh.
We did Wake County on Tuesday.
Wake. So you do Wake. And again, on DealMachine, what you're looking at here briefly is the web version. There's a mobile app as well. But the web version is going to be great for kind of doing this filtering. You're on the map tab, and this top bar is a filter bar where you can look at zip codes, cities, counties, like big areas here, and then filter down by over 700 different data points, different criteria to really nail that down. The right side is the browse bar, properties that fit your criteria. And then the bottom bar is how many properties in real time actually fit that criteria as well. So it shows you kind of your list size. So we went through Wake County, which that, like you said, North Carolina. Here we go. Right here. Click on that. We highlight that entire county. We had somebody in the chat mention that they had to do a couple counties, which is okay. That's try to.
You can combine a couple counties. If you only get like 2 people in your county because of the size of the population, you can add another 1 or 2 counties on.
Yep. So that works as well. We went through. We had a couple over 500,000, if I remember correctly, properties that popped up initially. And then on this right side, I actually saved the search to be able to show you guys really quickly all this criteria. But we walk through step by step the Polite's money list here, where what this looks like is we went through and actually did a drop-down menu on all of these different filters on off-market properties. So we went to this quick filter, clicked on off-market down here. We switched on match all as well, which means it has to match all of your criteria at once. We also put on single family. We're targeting single family homes here. And then we went to this more tab, and we started filtering, this and this and this. And again, you want to click on that "and" button because it's going to make the criteria be more and more narrow. It's got to fit all of these things, this and this and this, rather than the "or" criteria, which would mean fit this or this, which would be a bigger list, right? So
and guys, this is called list stacking. So instead of adding, either or criteria, you're stacking. So it has to meet every single criteria that you're stacking. When we first got started, there was literally, you had to pay for software to stack your list. And that software alone was like $199 a month. But this is all included with DealMachine, the stacking feature.
Yep. Yep. So what the stacking looked like, we went through, we said, hey, we want to find an owner that is not living there. So not owner occupied, owner location, not owner occupied. Again, each of these, we just clicked on the and button, and then we would search. So we could say like owner location, for example, was one of the searches. That's how we got to that. So we kept applying owner not occupied, residential property in the property class. And this bolded right here is what you search for. So this bold term. So you search for last sale date. We put more than 20 years ago. Searched for corporate owned and said not corporate owned. So they don't own an LLC. It's just owned by an individual. And then this is the key, is the number of owned properties greater than 10. So we went in here again.
Matt, go back for me real quick too.
Yep. Number of owned and then there.
The filters here with Matt, you definitely want to make sure you play around with these depending on what your list looks like at the time. So the two things that you can play around with on this list is how long they've owned them. So I'll put 20 years or 10 years, right? If my list is too small, I'll push it to 10 years. And then the number of properties owned. So I've had some lists where I put a minimum of 10 properties and I still have a huge list, which is great. So then I'll say, well, let me see how many people own 20 or more properties. So then I'll put it at 20. And then that list will come down to like 500. Now I'm looking like that's 500 that have 20 or more properties. So those two you want to play with depending on what area you are in. So if you're seeing that your numbers are getting too small, then take it from 20 to 10 years. If it's getting too small, then take it from 10 properties, take it to 8.
So you're expanding the filter or narrowing the filter depending on what the results are bringing back.
Yes.
Yep. Great point. Yeah. So these two right here, number of owned properties and last sale date, are fluid like that. And again, we're aiming for that like 200 to 500 list count is great, up to 1,000 max, and like especially like in a Raleigh or a bigger area, more populated area, that 1,000 could be kind of the max ceiling I'd be looking at here. So
and keep in mind, these people, that doesn't mean the 10 properties that they own are in the state that you're searching.
Right.
So they could be all over. These 10 properties could be all over the US. So it's not limited to, so you'll say, oh, wait, this is a property in California. Yes, it's going to pull all the properties that owner owns who has an address in the state that you're searching.
Yep. Great point. So with all of that in mind, we went in, I'll hit this build list button. We've got 607 properties in Wake County that fit all this criteria, confirm build, and it should take just a few seconds. It'll pull that. And then we're on to step 2, which again is, okay, now that we've got all of these addresses, all these people to reach out to, what do we do with them? How do we turn these addresses into actual conversations and appointments? And so let me kick back over to the slides here. If I can do that in Webinar Jam here for you guys. Again, if you're on YouTube, make sure to go to that www.theappliedschallenge.com to get access to the full experience here. Okay, there we go. So again, that was day 1. Now today's live training, what do we do with them? How do we market to and negotiate with sellers? So I'd love to start there. I mean, I know you guys really love, I know we've do just a great job of kind of explaining really kind of a conveyor belt method of marketing. I can go into DealMachine and really show you guys how to execute on a lot of this stuff, but can we maybe start there of what that means? What does your marketing strategy look like? Like, how do you think about marketing to sellers from here?
Yeah. Am I able to share my screen or?
You should be. Yeah. If you go on the top, there's like a little screen share button.
Webinar Jam or
you can do Webinar Jam first, and then we can do StreamYard after that. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then StreamYard. How do I share in here? Present.
Are you trying to present? Is it slides there?
Yep. I'm going to share. Hold on.
Nice. I will click on the. Oh, there we go. Nice.
You see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is what Matt was referring to. We talked about the conveyor belt of marketing. So disregard Ringer's voicemail. That's not applicable anymore. With marketing, you want to start with your cheapest form of marketing first. Your cheapest marketing, as far as offline, is going to be text messaging and cold calling. That's going to be cheap. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a phone, right? So you literally are already paying for your cell phone. So you can pick up the phone and call the seller or text them for less than a penny, right? You already have your cell phone. And then after that, after we call them several times, right? If you call them, you can't get them, call them right back. When you do that, people are like, man, this person's trying to reach me. So sometimes they'll pick up on that second ring.
Because they'll think it's someone that knows them personally.
Yep. And then as far as text, I don't typically text them right away, because if you do, that can allow them to screen the call. But that's dependent, right? But literally cold calling still works, but it's a numbers game. You got to call a lot of people to get people on the phone and have conversations. But the more conversations you have, the more people you're going to reach. And as far as cold calling, you can outsource it as well. So we always encourage everybody to make your first few hundred calls yourself, because in order to hire someone and manage them properly, you have to have done the work. So you can know what does good look like, what does bad look like, and actually properly evaluate their performance, right? But there's also companies you can outsource the cold calling to. You can say, hey, here's a list of 500 people. I need you to call this list. It may take them a week or two to get through the list, and they may charge you a couple $100. If you guys need companies for that, we can refer you to the company we use for our outbound cold calling. But this is a conveyor belt. Again, we start with text messaging. We start with cold calling and text messaging. Then if we can't reach them after about, I'd say 6 to 8 calls over like a 4-week period, and this is calling at different times, right? If you call them today at 6 p.m. and then tomorrow at 6 p.m., guess what? That's Friday. Wait till Monday and call them at 8 a.m. on Monday. So try them at a different time, because they may be tied up at that time. So don't call them the same exact time every single day of the week. And then after the cold calling and texting, then you want to move on to something like direct mail. So direct mail is more expensive, right? What is it, like 59 cents or 69 cents for a postcard, Matt?
Depends, yeah. Somewhere in the 50s or 60s, depending on the plan you're on.
And when we started, it was like 99 cents. So
yeah, it was like $1 per postcard.
Yeah, y'all good.
And keep in mind, guys, when we started, our initial budget for mailers was
$250.
$250 a month.
Trust me, I remember.
$250 a month. So that means we can send out 250 letters and postcards per month.
No, 200, because at the time the software was $49.99.
There you go.
Dedrick had me on a strict budget, so I had 200 to play with for the mailers.
Yep. And guess what? She made it happen with that limited budget. After about 2 or 3 months of sending out 200 to 300 postcards, the phone started ringing. People started calling us back like, hey, I got this postcard. I had a picture of my house on it. You know, what's this all about? And then we would go into the whole script. Okay, are you interested in selling? And go through the whole script with them.
So when you're doing it that way and you're on a budget, the reason why I loved DealMachine, is because it allowed me to market on our budget, right? And it was, with 200 postcards, what I did was I made sure every postcard. Personally, I did driving for dollars. I didn't pull lists at that time. I needed to make sure every house I saw, or our deal finders who were out there finding deals for us, were pulling houses, and they would submit them, and I would be the one who'd have to approve them in order for a mailer to go out. But I wanted to make sure that they had a motivation. So I wasn't mailing to owner-occupied homes. I wasn't mailing to ones that I know would take forever. No LLCs, no corporate-owned. Nothing in a trust.
You're going after vacant.
I was going after
absentee.
Yes.
High equity
Properties that I know we had a higher likelihood of getting a phone call back for. So keep that in mind when you're sending direct mail. Can it be done on a shoestring budget? Absolutely. It just has to be done consistently. So depending on our market, can you take that down? Depending on your market, or our market, if it was a North Carolina, so to speak, if I'm mailing in North Carolina, everyone got a mailer every 30 days. When I was marketing in Boston, everyone got a mailer every 2 weeks. When I was marketing in Philly, people got a mailer every 2 weeks.
And this is for like a year straight.
For a year straight.
So it's not just like send 1 or 2 mailers and stop. That's what most people do. You have to be committed to send it for at least 12 months. So once a month for 12 months, it's going to cost you about $6. But the statistics show people have to see a message. They have to see one of these postcards. What is it, like 8 to 10 times before it actually registers? Before they're like, oh, what's this? Because we get so many marketing messages and ads hitting us every day. They have to see it multiple times before they even pay attention to it. So if you stop after 3 postcards, it hasn't even seeped into their brain yet, right? after the 6th, 7th, 8th. Now, sometimes you'll get lucky. They'll call on a second postcard, but sometimes it's a year later and they're like, you know what? I've been saving your postcard and something happened. And I was finally like, let me give them a call.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I mean, when we look at the data as well, that supports that on our end. And that's where, being able to use the power of automation, being able to set it and forget it is so incredibly valuable because, I mean, even before, and one of the main reasons DealMachine was created was David Lecko, our CEO. He was going out there, he was driving for dollars primarily, and then he'd go back and try to spend all this time creating a single mailer for somebody and to reach out to him that way. And it took forever and was not getting those calls back because he just couldn't be consistent with it. And as he solved that problem for himself and he used technology to do it, I mean, he's built a 20 plus unit portfolio now, wholesaling consistently, like solved his own problem. And that's really where DealMachine was born from as well. So,
yep. And look at that. Isabel in the chat, she said she reached out to a seller about a property in her county. And he said, not that one, but I do have one in Georgia.
Amazing.
Right? So again, when they have that portfolio, you just want the low hanging fruit. Give me your worst property, the black sheep of the herd. Let me take that one down. Right. And that's what happened for Isabel.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
So do not be surprised with these lists if they say, hey, listen, not this one, but I do have another one. And it could be in a different state. What you're doing is just like Matt said, which is why this list is so powerful, is you're building a relationship. This is the list that's allowed us to take down 4 different individuals' portfolios because we built relationships off of this list.
Yep, exactly. So what it looks like in DealMachine to really execute on that conveyor belt method where you've got, especially talking through the calling piece and the direct mail piece, that combination of doing proactive outreach, kind of this one-to-one short-term marketing, like calling, and then putting them on a long-term nurture, one-to-many campaign that you just hit one button and it goes out and you don't have to worry about it from there, like direct mail. That combination of this kind of 1-2 punch or this kind of multiple pronged approach is where we see in general our customers having the most success and with their marketing and with getting that response rate up. And the more touch points you have, the higher and higher that response rate goes. So what it looks like inside the app right here, again, we built that list. I'm just showing you that here for a minute or a few minutes ago. This view list button at the bottom, if I click on that, and again, if you're watching on YouTube, you've got to go to www.thepoliteschallenge.com to be able to get the full experience here. But inside DealMachine, you'll see I've got my 607 leads, right? I just pulled that list of leads right here. And, we'll talk through, again, there's the calling side and then the direct mail side. The call side to begin with, as I scroll down, you'll see there's these phone numbers here. Not everybody's got them, but most do. You jump in here, every single one of these numbers, typically you would have to skip trace that lead, right? Actually pay 10 cents or more, sometimes 12, 14 cents to get phone numbers associated with that property. Inside a DealMachine now, the end of last year, about 8 months ago at this point, we launched unlimited free skip tracing, unlimited free contact information included with every lead in here. So that one, we really were trying to change the industry and how you're thinking about data, how you're able to come in and, my 9,800 leads that I've got in DealMachine right here. I mean, that would be almost $1,000 of skip tracing, typically, right? Or more. That's included free in DealMachine there. So we have all these numbers to work with. Like, we want to remove every single barrier in front of you to start reaching out to people. So, as you pull that list, you'll notice right away, hey, I've got all these phone numbers to be able to work with. When I click on a property, really the intersection of this contact information, the demographic data, so data about the individual, and then property data, this kind of trifecta here really puts you at this unfair advantage in your market where you can very easily reach out to people. You've got phone numbers, you've got emails even that come with every single one of these. So you've got everything you need there. You've got, all the data around who are the likely owners, who are they family members? Are they renters? Let me click on that individual. I can see more about their background. I can come in, not just asking cold, like, hey, are you looking to sell? But you can come prepared with good questions and doing a little bit more due diligence than the rest of the market. I can look and see, hey, this has a off-market property, high equity, absentee owned, and adjustable loan. I can see all this data about the property itself right here, the transaction history, rehab, repair costs, estimator, all kinds of different stuff to dig into here, where you are coming in with, again, much more information, much more due diligence than anybody else, just straight up cold calling. So you've got all that to work with right there. And then the next step is, okay, great. I've got the contact info. I've got the property data. I've got the demographic data. What do I do with that? How do I actually call? Well, this is something literally 6 weeks ago we launched, and this has been awesome to get out there. I mean, you guys were one of the first ones to see it too. That was
the
really
dialer.
Cool. Yep. So we have an AI powered dialer inside DealMachine now. And so this, again, comes included with your subscription. You get access to it. You pay for usage, so make sure to be aware of that. Like if you're on our plans, it's like 4 to 6 cents per minute that you're paying. So it's a couple cents a minute essentially to actually use the dialer. If you're going to go all out and just call a ton over the month, then you can pay for $99 unlimited plans as well for calling. But inside DealMachine, you hover over a number, you notice that call button right there, or up here I can call my entire list. I click that button. What it's going to do is inside DealMachine, normally you would have to export all your leads, export all the data, upload it to another system, pay for an entirely different dialer, make sure the data transitions over properly, have to go back and forth for the property data, have to learn that new platform, have to, again, pay for it and pay for a number. Instead, you just click the call button in DealMachine, you hit call, and it'll start dialing. And you've got it set up here using the AI pieces of this, which I want to talk about, kind of move on to how to talk to sellers here in just a minute too, guys. But the AI pieces of this, what it's going to do is it'll actually transcribe the call in real time. So it'll show me, if I call Brian right here, it'll say, here's what Matt's saying, here's what Brian's saying. It'll transcribe it for me. It'll do sentiment analysis around it. So when I hang up, it'll say, hey, we think that this was a hot lead. You guys talked about going on an appointment the next day. Great. Here's a call summary. Here's the recommended next step. It'll use AI to help you with that next step and the note taking of all of this.
But let's just pause right there.
Do it.
So it's gonna take the notes. I've been doing sales for a long time, right? And I've used Salesforce, which is CRM. Like literally, you have to manually type your notes after the conversation so you can record what happened. So later, if you talk a month later, you'll remember it. This thing takes the notes for you. And not only that, it does sentiment analysis. Meaning it senses the temperature of the call and it tells you if it was a good, a bad call, a hot or a cold lead. Like that's crazy.
And the next step.
Next level.
Yeah. It'll say like, hey, do you want to send a mail, or do you want to stop sending them mail? Or, hey, this is a warm lead. We're going to put it in your follow-up queue 14 days later automatically for you. So that way, when you jump on a DealMachine, it'll prompt you and say, hey, here's everybody you need to call today based on your follow-ups. So
Murph had a question. He said, this is next level. Will it show a generic number on their caller ID? Tell them what it does for that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what we're doing on the back end here is we're trying to, one, just help you not be a spam call, like help you not get bucketed as spam, because then your contact rates are going to be tanked there. So what we're doing here is you've got this 919 number. It is going to assign you a phone number for that lead that is mirroring that area code. So when I call Brian, it's going to give me a 919 number, which also,
even if you're in St. Louis, it's going to give you a local number.
Exactly. No matter where you're at. So that increases their chance of picking up. And then also, if Brian calls that number back, inside DealMachine, it knows that number for that lead is assigned to me. So anytime that number is called, Brian, it's going to pop open the lead, going to say, Brian's calling. Here's Brian. Here's more about that individual. Here's more about that property. Do you want to pick up? And it'll ring in DealMachine and ring my phone for my callback number in this dialer setting right here. And you're going to get every call right there. So that's what you're looking at there. The other crazy things, guys. So I mentioned it's AI enabled, right? Well, besides the note taking and the summary and the follow-up steps, all that inside the call. So this is pretty wild. Inside the call, there is an AI assistant, and it says, what do I say next at the bottom right there? And so I know you guys have an awesome dialer script or an awesome like conversation script and things, which you can upload that as well. But it's basically what it's doing is it's using ChatGPT with a bunch of our prompting, with any dialer script you upload and all of the data that's up, that's in DealMachine right there, all the off-market property data, combining all of that. And when you click the "What do I say next" button, in real time, based on where you're at in the conversation, it'll give you ideas of where to take that conversation.
So our team has been using that. I don't think we've used the "What do I say next" button, but I'm gonna have my acquisitions guys start using that. That's crazy.
Yep. So like it'll say, oh, hey, maybe ask around why they're looking to sell, or when they're looking to sell, or the condition of the property, or really kind of help give you that conversation guidance, which is great for helping you, especially for people who aren't maybe as comfortable calling or don't know exactly where to take the conversation or what to say. Great real-time reminder that you can follow those prompts and have a great conversation without overthinking it. So
this is next level, guy. All you guys got to do is use it. Just use this stuff, do the activity, and you're going to see the results.
Yep, absolutely. And because you're in the challenge, you get the free, like I mentioned, free postcards, but also free credits to actually make calls with. Like that can apply to calling too. So nice. It's essentially $50 free, regardless of what you're doing.
Hey, who doesn't like free stuff?
Right.
Awesome. To briefly show you, I'll hang up right away so we actually call Brian here, but just to briefly show you what it looks like when you hit the call button, pops open the dialer, it can hear me. Hold on, let me see if I can get an example here. See how it hears me right here. Here's the "What do I say next" button. And now you can see again, it can pop open the data around the individual, around the property itself. And now on the call, it'll say, oh, hey, you know what? He didn't answer. Correct. Yep. Called that. Here was a suggestion of a message to actually say when they pick up, or you can, hit this try again button and it'll generate another option for you right there. And here's the next step already ready to go for you. So pretty simple and easy. You hit the call button and go. So
does this integrate with you guys CRM?
Yep. So you've got all that there. Anytime I click on a lead, I can then see like, hey, let me go to activity and I can see, oh, I've made a call. There's a no answer. When I click on that, I can see notes. So if I had a conversation, for example, let me find a past conversation. So which in the dialer tab, it's going to give you all the past conversations right there. Nice. For example, here's one I had that was incoming with Ryan. Here we go. And so I can see here's the summary of it. Here's the past transcription of it. All, my back and forth with him. So it says, hey, he called back. It's a vacant house. An appointment was set. Looking to sell soon. So yeah, it's got all that right there for you. Yep.
Powerful, man. They had none of this when we first got started. We were dialing on
That's brand new. Yeah.
majors and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's all ready to go. So that's one part of the conveyor belt method, right? And the other piece is direct mail. So how do you automate as much of this as possible is then take that next step. And once you have called somebody, maybe you left a voicemail, which actually, forgot to touch on this. Can't believe I forgot this. The voicemail piece, if it goes to voicemail and they don't answer, when the voicemail starts going off, you'll see in your dialer a little drop voicemail button. And if you want to save a ton of time, now this is like 6 to 8 cents per voicemail drop, but you click that button. And so that way it's going to probably cut your calling time about in half based on, you having to read a voicemail script every time. But if you click that drop voicemail button, it will use AI that you can go in and actually train to your voice, which is pretty nuts right here. If you go into dialer settings, AI voice clone, and you could train it to your voice. So when you click drop voicemail, it'll be you leaving a message saying the seller's name, the callback number, the right address, all of that. You can just move on to the next call.
Wait. Hold on. That's you can't just breeze past this, Matt. Hold on. So what you're trying to say is you train it once, you train the AI bot on your voice. And then now when you don't feel like leaving a voicemail, but you want to drop one, you press a button and the AI recreates your voice and drops a voicemail message for you without you saying anything?
Exactly. That's it. Right there. Yep. So that's like the everything we're doing here. We just want to make the ultimate productivity tool for you and go out there. And again, like you just hit that drop voicemail button. Don't have to worry about anything else. Call the next one.
So it's about 5 years before the robots take over. So we might as well just capitalize on this now.
See, we want to make you superhuman. Like we see it as, hey, we want to enable you here. And really the goal with all this stuff too, again, like, yes, it's great to have this, in addition to everything else you're doing, like to have technology and all of that aid you in this. But the real people who are going to be doing deals are the ones that build great relationships, that really talk to sellers, build trust. People do business with people they know, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
AI is not going to do that. Like you're coming in and able to actually have a great conversation with them and network, and especially a list like this who own a ton of properties. Like you've got all this opportunity to come in and just build a real human-to-human connection like that. We just want to enable you more with this one-click call, right? So,
awesome.
What the mail looks like briefly here. Anytime you click on a lead, you'll see there's that start mail button right here as well. And you could mail the whole list if you'd like here too. But individually, when you hit start mail, you can then, there's about 16 or so default templates that are inside DealMachine, already pre-built, ready to go for you. And you can customize the design, you can customize the wording on there, all of that stuff. We even have mail tracking if you want to put call tracking numbers on there, which is also super helpful, a little more of an advanced strategy. But going in here, you can just go out, press that start mail button, change the template or mail sequence. And now I can just set that sequence and say, yeah, send them, these 5 postcards over 84 days. And now I can just hit that send button. I don't have to worry about anything else. I know that they're going to be getting a postcard from me every 3 weeks without me touching anything else.
Man, how many templates are in the system that people can choose from?
So if you go in here under the mail tab, which we have a mail center that's tracking, it's like a tracking system to show you how much mail you send and what you're sending next. Under postcards, that's all the templates. So you can click on new postcard and then select, any size. And now you've got, it's like 16 templates right here that you can work. Nice. Or create your own, like select that design and actually get custom with it.
Nice.
Or handwritten too. We do have handwritten ones, which are more expensive, but get a higher response rate. So it's, worth mixing in every once in a while, I'd say.
Yeah.
But that's all right there. And then the sequences are basically you setting up the order of mail to send. So on this sequence, we know that it's going to send them this one, then 21 days later, this one, then 21 days later, this one. This is my own business here. This is the mail that I send in St. Louis.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know, right? Look at this. We're searching to buy homes in your area. There we go.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one gets really high response rate, actually. So
Jacqueline has a question. She said, under the call tracking, what phone number is that and where does that go?
Yeah, so you actually go through and you get call tracking numbers included with your DealMachine account. So if you go to application settings and then call tracking right here, you can actually go in and here's my business partner. Here's the call tracking number that we got forwarding to another one. But you can click on and add your own so that we have a callback number that it forwards to. And the call tracking, once you have that in there, you can then go to any of your mail designs and your postcards and select that call tracking number. So I can go in here and edit the design, go into signature right here. And then where are we here? Here you go. Use call tracking and select my call tracking number. So that, it's great. The main reason for this, like I would say if you're doing high volume mail, that's when it could make sense. Mm-hmm. The main reason that it really matters is that if you send different call tracking numbers, like with this template versus this one, you can then look at your dashboard and see, which of my templates are getting more calls back. Like I can go into my mail sent and say, well, you know what? Let me see how many calls back I've gotten from this one for that call tracking number versus, this one. And it'll have in there, I don't have it set up currently, it's brand new, but it's a great way to be able to just continue to optimize your mail and make sure you're sending the best mail at the highest volume. So,
and would that be the same if we are, so for us, we had like at one point maybe like 15 different numbers on all the different postcards because we were in so many different markets. So would that be the same case there where you can have multiple numbers? Because anyone who knows, if you don't know, if you do go virtual and you're in a different market, you would want to get a local number. So don't go to California and then have a North Carolina number. You're going to get a higher response rate if the number is local, and it's definitely not a 1-800 number on any postcards. And then I would also say put a female's name on it versus a male's name, because we've done the research and the study on that as well. You're going to get a higher call rate on that as well. And if you have a female who can answer your phone, even better. So when they call back, even when they call us and they'll say, hey, can I speak to Melissa? Because that's who's on our postcards still to this day. Oh, she just stepped out for lunch. How can I help you? So just a little tidbit. But is that the same? Can someone still add multiple numbers there as well if they're using in different markets?
Yep. So you can go in, and on DealMachine, our starter plan has 1 call tracking number that's included. Pro has 3, Teams has 15, because we have 3 tiers of plans.
Yep.
And say you were on Pro and you wanted 5 instead of 3, you can actually go in here to call tracking and purchase more numbers. So you can buy them. I think it's $5 a number, I believe, but you can actually go in and get a call. Here you go. Yep. Additional call tracking numbers are just $5 to buy one, and then that way you can, do exactly what you're talking about there.
There you go.
Guys, that's important because you're spending money on this marketing.
Yep.
So you need to track and know what marketing is working better than the others, and actually double down on the marketing that's working the best.
Yep. Now, one thing I do want to make sure we hit, and don't want to run too far over before we sign the homework, but I would love if you could kind of talk through how to have that conversation with sellers a little bit here. Really go in and be able to say like, oh yeah, here's how to, we do have the AI to assist us. We do have these other different things that you guys can still hear me okay, right? I know I've had a little bit of I'll fix my video here in a minute, but if you guys could talk for a minute here on, yes, we've got the what do I say next button to help guide us, but if you can talk through like how to have that conversation. And I know you guys have great scripts and things, so that would be great to give a little crash course on that as people are making phone calls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen real quick.
Perfect.
Can you guys see my screen? Let's see, share screen.
Yep, on Webinar Jam. Gotcha. And I'll switch out my camera here in a minute.
Okay. So you guys see Power Phone scripts on your screen?
Yep.
Everybody see that? So this is what we use, guys, as far as a script. So these are how to talk to sellers, how to handle objections, talk to cash buyers. So basically it's going to tell you what to say. You're the prospect and you're calling, the caller is a seller, right? And anyone who can read can go through these scripts. Now, of course, when you're talking with the seller, your main job is to build rapport. You don't want to sound like a telemarketer, right? So when you call them, instead of saying, hello, may I speak to Mr. Smith? You're going to say, hey, is John there? You guys notice the difference there? You're asking for them by first name.
Or if it's a male that you're calling and a male answers, or if it's a female that you're calling and a female answers, hey, Tina. Hey, Mike.
You want it to sound like
assuming that it's them. So at this point, they think, oh, this must be somebody else. Yeah, it's Mike. What's up?
Be a friend of mine, somebody I know. Right. And then you're going to just go through the script, right? Your main goal is to find out if they're interested in selling the property. Some people are going to be interested, some are not. Don't take it personal. There are going to be some people who are not interested, going to cuss you out and hang up on you. That's part of the process. They don't know you, right? But move on to the next one. But yeah, these scripts have everything you need. They have questions. If they're interested, you can ask them questions. If they're not interested, it tells you what to say to kind of pivot the conversation. So we'll get these scripts to you, Matt, and if you can share this PDF out with the group. But yeah, this is what you guys would use when you're talking to sellers.
And even when you're talking to sellers, you want to make sure that you sound as natural as possible. So how you normally talk, you're not putting on the telemarketer voice. You are speaking to them with the ums and the I'm a local flipper in the area. I'm a local investor in the area. My partner and I, just small local investors who try to, clean up our neighborhood. We go in and beautify these properties, and you see how I'm saying, and we fix them up, and we either rent them out or we sell them for, to first-time home buyers. But you're sounding natural. You're not coming in sounding like you're trying to sell them a used car.
We'll sell them some Comcast or something.
You want to sound as local as possible, but one of the things you definitely want to do also is learn that emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence is going to take you a lot further than books and stuff ever will. That means you know how people say you got to know how to read a room.
Read between the lines.
You got to also know how to do that on a phone call. So if you're calling someone up north, you have a 3-second window to capture their attention. So that's Massachusetts, New York, from all the way through Philly. You have 3 seconds to capture their attention. Anyone on here from any of those states? Go back to the chat. Anybody here from those states? Because I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I will tell you, you absolutely have 3 seconds.
It's less than 3 seconds.
It like could be
0.3 seconds.
I'm gonna tell you how fast it is. Hello. Because if you don't say something within that, so you know how it's wait, and then you'll hear some beep beep beep, and then the person will come on. You've already lost me. That whole conversation, I'd have been hung up. So remember when they're calling, that's why I say, hey, Mike, boom, immediately. It's not, hey, can I speak to Michael? Nope. Hey, Mike, assume it's them, let them tell them it's not you. And then if they are fast and they're quick, like I am typically on the phone, and I want a person to get to the point, this is her. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How can I help you? Then you match their energy. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Listen, I know you don't know me, but my name is Crystal, and I looked at 123 Main Street. Amazing property. Definitely want to just take 2 or 3 seconds of your time to see if we can talk about if you're interested in selling it, right? You want to have that conversation dialogue. You want to get to them. Now, some people are just going to be like, nope, not interested in it, and hang up. That's fine.
On to the next. Don't take it personal. So what I do is I actually go for the no. So I set a goal. If I'm about to sit down and make 100 phone calls, I'm like, all right, let me try to get 50 no's. Why? Going for the no, it takes the pressure off you of yeses, right? Hey, I want to see how many no's I can get tonight. And guess what? You get 50 no's, you're bound to get at least one yes, right? Because you're calling through people trying to get as many no's as possible. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, matter of fact, I do got this house down the street. I've been meaning to get rid of this. It's a pain in the, that's what you're going for. Go for the no's.
Yes. And you're right, Isabella. Correct. If you know you're calling someone who is an elderly or older person, hey, Mr. Jones, how you doing? Right? If you know you're calling someone that is 40, 50, which you should know, unless you're
the age and DealMachine,
it's gonna pop up. Then hey, Mike, how you doing? And it's like, hey, what's up? And I've done it, so I know they'd be like, yeah, hey, what's up? Thinking that I'm a friend of theirs.
They're like, should I know you?
Yeah, hey, what's up? And a lot of people of us are embarrassed to not know someone. Right. So when someone addresses me like that, so if someone calls me love, I know that there's someone who knows me. That's a friend of mine. Right. Because anyone whose business knows me as Crystal, my family, friends, they all call me love. So if I don't know that, I'd be like, yeah, what's up? And then I look at that like,
who the hell is this calling?
Okay. And I do that. I go with it. Like, girl, yes. And you know when I did it? 10 minutes ago before I got on this call at the football field, and somebody was like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I can't believe Biddy and Keenan on the same field. And I was like, yeah, yes, he is. Oh, he getting so big. Had no idea which one was their son. He's like, your husband, he's not here. He just left. And I had no idea who he was, but I had to.
Till you make it.
There you go. So
love it.
It's that rapport building.
Yep. Yeah. And you're right. Be your authentic self. And I think leading with that and, having that mentality. I love the no mentality of your goal to getting the no's, because the yeses are going to come along the way. Focus on the process, and the results will pay off like that. So, I'll make sure on our end. I remember you mentioned you've got scripts and mail templates and things. Is there anything that you're that I'll be able to share out throughout the challenge or anything? Or
yeah, just ping us afterwards, and we'll send you links to those, and you can share it out with the attendees.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So we'll make sure you guys get some assets to help out here between now and the next live on Monday here. So, anything else before I get to the homework here?
Nope, that's it. Let's bring on the homework.
All right. So. Coming in here, I know we're at the top of the hour. Our goal again is to make this a breakdown step by step to really help you again go from really not having any experience in this, leading with action, and getting to the point where, hey, yeah, we're comfortable, talking to sellers and doing deals here. The next goal with this step, again, the first one was all about building your list, right, of at least 200 leads. Now it's time to take action on that. And so we're giving you guys now until Monday night. So you've got a little bit of time to run with this. But the goal is to reach out to at least 200 of your leads through any of the methods we just talked about. We talked about calling, there's direct mail, the whole conveyor belt method. We give you email addresses, there's in-person opportunities, leaving flyers, things like that. As long as you can reach out to at least 200 leads on your list and then post some evidence of this. So post a screenshot or a picture that you are completing this to the Facebook group, you will be entered to win that $8,000 plus grand prize, everything we're giving away on Monday. So your goal for the evidence piece, like to post that, I know I showed off this dashboard of DealMachine, the calls made, the call sent, the mail sent, all that. That's a great way of doing it. You can just go to your dashboard, the top left corner inside DealMachine, click on that, and you can show us, hey, I made 200 calls, or you can show us, hey, I sent 200 mailers, or, maybe take a picture of you out in the field doing this stuff. Like whatever it takes to kind of show us a little bit of that you're doing that, the marketing, you're following through, you're not sitting back, but you're going for no's. You're setting that goal of, hey, I want to get out there and just start to have these conversations with sellers. That is the goal here between now and Monday night. So again, finish that up. If you missed the first homework, that's okay. We showed you guys how to pull that list. We'll send out the replays. We'll send out all these different assets to help you guys out throughout the way. And two, again, like each time we give another homework assignment, it gets more and more challenging. The people who actually follow through and do it are going to be the select few that have this chance to win the giveaways. Mm-hmm. So, the more barriers we put in front of you, again, the people who want it, go out there and make it happen. And the people, in general, like you're going to have less people do that. You're going to have more people fall off. So here's a really great chance to get out there and work towards the real goal of doing deals, but along the way, have the chance to win a ton of free stuff, over $8,000 worth of free stuff in the meantime. So, to help you along the way, well, again, here are those bonuses. We've got DealMachine.com/polite. That's the free trial in tandem with the 7-day challenge here. You get the unlimited free skip tracing. Those are all the phone numbers, emails, everything you possibly need to actually get in touch. You have the dialer and all of that as well. And then 50 free postcards / minutes to be able to call with. So you've got all that lined up for you, as much free stuff as possible to execute on this. If you're going to do, and I shared this last time as well, but if you're going to be using DealMachine for more than a few months, though, like if you're getting into this and you're like, yeah, I want to fully commit to using this technology, this is going to be by far your best deal versus going through our website. So I'll share this link as well on the webinar jam here. If you're watching on YouTube, again, make sure to go to that www.thepoliteschallenge.com to get registered for all this stuff, for the challenge, the email list, the invites for the next live, all that stuff. But right here, essentially, you get DealMachine Pro, which is everything you need in one box. You get 3 users, you get all the D4D and list pulling stuff, up to 50,000 leads, all of the map features, all of the contact info, the free skip tracing, the dialer and call tracking we talked about, the mail we talked about. Next time, we're going to dig a little bit more into the CRM and MLS comps, and then our AI assistant inside the property data as well. But all of that would be at DealMachine.com/politesdeal for about $99 a month if you're going to go through that. So again, this is an annual plan, but this would be over or almost $1,000 off what it would be if you paid for it every single month. So we really want to hook you guys up. Like, this is going to be, again, if you're going to be using DealMachine for more than just a few months, make sure to go through that link versus going through our website down the road. So do you guys want to mention, and I'll leave this up here during the Q&A, but do you guys want to mention what you have going on with the accelerator and then your strategy calls too?
Yeah. So the 4-week accelerator, like I said, kicks off not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Actually September 4th, whatever that date is, about 12 days from now. But that's going to be a deep dive into getting your LLC set up, marketing, acquisitions, and dispositions. Literally a business in a box, how to get your wholesale business launched, much like this accelerator, but even more in depth. Each training is going to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours. So for anyone who's serious about really taking their business to the next level, I highly recommend jumping into that 4-week wholesale accelerator. We keep the class size small. We don't like to be more than like 30, 40 people. So that because we do assign a lot of homework, no one can hide. So you are going to have to do the work, but you're going to advance your business. The people who do the homework get farther in that 4 weeks than people get in like years trying to do this on their own.
Absolutely. And then I know you guys have a discovery call, talk to your team as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. So anyone who's interested in any of our classes or mentorship, applying for our mentorship, just book a discovery call with our team. We'll talk to you about your goals, your plans, your challenges, and how, you can implement some of the tips and strategies we use to achieve similar results.
Fantastic. So happy deal finding, guys. I'll stick around for a little bit to answer some questions for you. I'll leave this up if you're going to be using DealMachine to complete your homework. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go to that www.thepoliteschallenge.com. That's going to get you officially as to be a part of this challenge, and make sure you get all of the replays, all the assets emailed to you. I saw people in the comments asking around the script and everything. That will be emailed out to you guys afterwards as well, along with the replays and everything. So just make sure to pay attention to your email between now and Monday, and come ready to go and knock out the homework in the meantime. All right, here's that homework turn-in link here too. DealMachine.com/HW. So I'll put that up. All right. Do you see any questions off the bat, guys? Let's see. I've got Isabel. There's one more challenge training on Monday. That'll be day 7 right there. Let's see here.
We got time for a couple questions.
Yeah, if you're already using DealMachine and you're wanting to like upgrade to that big the big discounted plan like that, just email me and we can hook you guys up. So but that is an annual plan again, guys. So you can use it monthly, you can use it just for the 7-day free trial, or if you want all of the huge discount and all the perks there, we do have that annual plan as well. All right here, and I'll put the link up for that too. Let's see. Do you see any questions, guys?
Someone needs help importing a list. Sure, DealMachine support can help with that, right?
Yeah, if you go to inside DealMachine, there's an add leads button on your leads tab. There's add leads and then import list, or you can just email me or chat support, and we can help you guys out too. All right.
Somebody said, do they have to pay monthly for DealMachine to get the bonuses, deals, etc., or we have to pay yearly?
So there's the two options there. You have the month-to-month, which is still the free postcards and free trial and all that stuff, or the annual plan is where you can get that huge discount. So you've got kind of two options for you. Let's see. Someone had asked. Hold on, under Q&A, we've got a couple. I have an LLC. Can I do DBA that's related to real estate?
So I mean, if you have an LLC, is that a real estate related LLC? Is that for your real estate business?
That would be Casey was the one who asked that. Let's see.
Tony, what postcards getting the best response? That's a good question. That is a good question.
Yeah. I'm just going through everything here. So I'll say postcards that get the best response. I mean, we have. So it's funny. The majority of the 10,000 plus deals that using DealMachine so far that have been done, the majority of them have been with our default templates. So I would say you can use the defaults and they're tried and true there. In my personal business, what's working really well is the really creative ones. So I mentioned like the Bigfoot, template, like we've done that. There's a UFO one we've used. There's like one with dogs on it that we've used. Just ones that are a little more fun.
Get people's attention. It's not a typical we buy houses postcard. So exactly. I can see those working well. I think the postcard that works the best is consistency. Consistency. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Because most people, again, they'll send one or two. Oh, I didn't get any callbacks and it doesn't work. No, it's just that you have to send it 7 to 12 times over a 12-month period to see the real results, right? And it's a numbers game, right? You can't just send 200 postcards once or twice and expect it to work. You got to commit to it for 6, 9, 12 months, every single month hitting these people so they expect this mailer. And a certain percentage of those, 1 to 2% of those people will eventually start calling you back. So you just got to keep that in mind. It is a numbers game at the end of the day. But when someone does call back from a postcard, that is a hot lead, because literally they are picking up the phone and calling you now. So it's a different conversation from you calling them and them calling you.
Absolutely. Had a couple good questions here. The monthly plan and yearly plan have the same features. Just there, we have a starter, a pro, and a teams plan. And here, let me flip back over to that for you guys here. There we go. And then the pro. So to explain the AI piece, what I showed you guys today on the dialer, that's included with every plan. If you want the AI assistant inside the property cards, which we haven't really talked about yet, that's going to be on Monday. We talk about that. That's specifically a pro and up feature. So starter is great for just trying it out, just getting your feet wet. If you want everything unlocked that we've talked about throughout the challenge, and that can really help you, I'd say get the most bang for your buck, the pro plan would be what I recommend there. So, let's see. I think we'll be talking about this a little bit on Monday, but Edwin had asked, what are the key components you look for to wholesale a seller finance deal?
What's the question again?
What are the key components you look for to wholesale a seller finance deal?
Okay. So what are the key components of wholesale seller finance deal? It's really a question of, is this a deal that a landlord or a cash buyer would want? So put yourself in the cash buyer's shoes. Would you want this deal yourself? So the terms have to be favorable to the investor, right? So think about it. How much would an investor want to pay for a down payment? Of course, as little as possible, but it also has to be reasonable for the seller. How much would they want to cash flow? The investor is going to want the maximum cash flow. So again, the numbers have to make sense. I think a lot of times as new investors and wholesalers, we know when the numbers are not numbering, is what I say. But we're so anxious to get a deal, we try to fit a square peg into a round hole, right? Can anyone relate to that? So the numbers have to make sense for the investor, for the seller. And if the numbers make sense, you will not have a problem wholesaling or signing that property. Now, if it's a stretch and you're trying to do trigonometry and calculus to figure out how to make a profit from that deal, it's not a deal, right? No one's going to want to buy it. So literally the numbers have to make sense from a return on investment perspective.
Great answer. Tony clarified, when you said consistency around postcards, did you mean the same postcard or consistently different ones?
It could be either or, right? A lot of times we would send the same postcard every single month for 12 months, right? You don't have to get cute with it. They just have to see that message knowing that, hey, Tony's trying to buy my house, right? If they see that consistently enough, you get it in front of enough people, the law of large numbers begins to take effect. And I'm not talking about sending out 30,000 postcards a month or even a year, right? We may send 3,500 over the course of a year, but that would bring back 10, 15 deals.
Great stuff. I see, where'd it go? Here we go. Shireen had said, how can you save your list with unique names? So let me show that for you real quick here in DealMachine. So if you go, let me try this here. And I think we've gotten to all the questions there. So in Webinar Jam, again, if you're watching on social media, make sure to go to www.theappliedschallenge.com to be able to see all this. But on Webinar Jam, inside DealMachine here, if you want to click on your list and then hit View List, this is where you can delete the list as well. I saw somebody else ask that. But you can go to the list name and click on this and say, and name it up here, Polite's Challenge List. Here we go. If I can type, there we go. Confirm changes. And now I've got the names for my list right there, which you can see in my own business, MVP. I've got, absentees. I've got a ton of different lists here that I've pulled. So you've got, definitely actively practicing what we preach over here too.
There you go. That means you're actually out there doing deals.
Yep.
I'm seeing a couple other good questions in the chat. Tina Morrison, is a free and clear deed with the matching of MAO being very good? Should I wholesale? Can you clarify what you mean there, Tina? Tina Morrison. Casey, I may be jumping the fun, but we talked about getting sellers on board. How do we get the buyers, just in case someone responds? how do you get buyers is again, the carrot that you dangle for a cash buyer is, hey, I'm an expert in finding off-market deals at wholesale prices. If you want properties that you can buy at 40 to 60% discounts, I'm your girl. Call Casey, right? And when you say that to an investor, their eyes are gonna light up. Hold on. Because I know in the MLS it's very difficult to find deals. You're telling me you get properties at 40 to 60% discounts. Where do I sign up? That's the message. I get properties routinely at 40 to 60% discounts. I can get that to you, right? Give me your number, your name, your email. And once I get my next deal in, you'll be the first person that I contact.
Love it. So it's been phenomenal, guys. Osman, to answer your last question there, I know they talked about the conveyor belt method. It's really a combination of, calling and emailing or calling and direct mail and DealMachine. And then you talked about texting and RVMs as well. But we'll send out the replay after this. Make sure to rewatch that section, Osman, there. But everybody, again, get that homework done. Turn it into DealMachine.com/HW. Before Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And also you got to be on live to win this thing too. So make sure to bookmark that time, show up on Monday. I will remind you all on email to show up and qualify, through finishing up the homework in the meantime. But guys, I'll email out the replay. I'll email out the script for you guys and everything. Dedrick, I can let you guys go finally and not have to deal with me until Monday again, but it's been fun. So.
All right, guys, we will see y'all on Monday.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.